Hey everybody. So today I want to do something a little bit different, which is I want to share my screen and talk about an article that I read last week on Medicare and Social Security. So this video is especially important if you're planning on retiring in the next couple years, 5, 10 to 15 years. You want to watch this video and you want to understand the implications and what it means for your retirement. So let me see if I can share my screen right now. I'm not the most tech savvy, but I think I got this down. Okay. So I read this article on financialadvisormagazine.com last week, and I'm going to put the link to this article in the text on the video below. So you can read this whole thing if you want. I'm just going to point out a couple different things. The article basically talks about how the pandemic moves Social Security and Medicare closer to depletion. So there's a couple big problems that we're going through as it relates to our economy with the coronavirus and how it relates to Social Security and Medicare. One is that we took out $2.3 trillion in debt sometime, end of March. I think end of March 2020 for the CARES Act. It was the stimulus bill for the $1,200 checks that people got, for the small business loans, for all the other provisions. It was $2.3 trillion with the T, trillion dollars total. So we took that number and we basically added that on to our national debt. So that's one big problem that we have with the coronavirus that we're going through. And then the second big thing that we have is that so many people are not working. And where that makes a big problem for Social Security and Medicare is that Social Security and Medicare get a large portion of their funding from payroll taxes, i.e. workers going to their jobs, making money, and then paying their taxes into Social Security and Medicare. A big portion of those programs are funded by people working. So if we have less people working, less people putting into payroll, then we have less money to draw or to give to Social Security and Medicare. Well, where do they get that extra money from? They get it from the trust funds that Medicare and Social Security each have. They each have separate ones. And this article talks about how the Social Security trust fund depletion, you can see my highlights, it could be moved up to 2033. Originally, the trust fund for Social Security was going to be depleted by 2035, but with the coronavirus and the economic impact it's having, the trust fund could be depleted by 2033. As for the Medicare trust fund, it could be depleted by 2023. So that moves that trust fund depletion up a couple years. The last big problem that I'm going to point out to you is, well, two more things. One, once we run out of the trust fund, then all we have left is to depend on the payroll taxes to fund the system. And the problem with that is that, as we see in this article again, the payroll taxes is only going to be able to pay 79% of Social Security benefits, and Medicare is only going to be able to pay 90% of benefits. Where's the rest of that money going to come from? Well, it's actually in this article. A guy named Alan Katz, who's over in New York, says, as long as the government can tax, it will be fine. In other words, as long as the government has the ability to raise taxes, which it always will, then you know what? That's where we're going to get this extra money from. This amount that we're missing from payroll taxes and what we need to fully fund these programs, we'll just get it from we'll just get it from increasing taxes. And that's the big problem that you should be worried about if you're planning on retiring in the next couple of years or even in the next 10 years. And that's actually why I wrote my book, The Retirement Tax Bomb, which again, there's going to be a link for this down below. But I wrote this book to talk about strategies that you could utilize today to minimize or even eliminate your tax liability in retirement. And this article goes to talk about all of the reasons why your taxes might be raised. It's actually laid out in black and white. As long as the government can tax it, it will be fine. You don't want to be in a situation where you're in retirement and the government just keeps on jacking up your tax rates year after year after year. You can lower or even eliminate the taxes you pay in retirement if you follow the strategies that are in this book. If you have any questions on specific strategies for your situation, you need help implementing it, feel free to let me know. I'd be happy to help. That's all I've got for this video. I'll see you next time.